Today, let us know the things we need to know about economics. Economics is about how people utilize the available resources to satisfy their wants. As per market consists of consumers and producing firms of a particular goods and services. Remember that firms are usually trying to maximize their satisfaction. The firms will decide on what level of output to produce. Later, I will show to you what is an imperfect market structure and each types. Hi everyone! So, today I will talk all about the imperfect market structure. But before that, I will show you what are the objectives for this lesson. So first is the learners will be able to define what is an imperfect market structure. The second one, enumerate what are the types of imperfect market structure. And another, the learners will be able to compare and contrast each types. So, what is an imperfect market structure? An imperfect market structure refers to any economic market that does not meet a rigorous standards of the hypothetical perfectly or purely competitive market. So, all real-world markets are imperfect. Thus, the study of real markets is always influenced by competition for market share. There are high barriers to entry and exit. They are the price setters rather than by a supply and demand. Now, there are four types of the imperfect market structure, namely the monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and lastly, the monopsony. The first one is the monopoly. Monopoly, this is a structure in which there is only one seller. Products offered by this entry have no substitute. So why is it there is no substitute for a certain product? So why is it? Basically, in a monopoly market, factors like the government license, ownership and resources, copyright and patent, and high starting cost make one entity into a single seller goods. Now, all these factors restrict the entry of the other sellers in the market. That is why the other seller could not easily enter in a certain business. In a monopoly also, there is only a single seller. Now, if there is a single seller, he or she is the market controller, he or she is the price maker, and he or she enjoys the power setting of the price of his goods. Okay, so the next one is the monopolistic competition. A monopolistic competition is a competitive market setting wherein there are many sellers who offer differentiated products to a large number of buyers. So they compete with one another and they are the price makers. Price maker, it means they are also the price setters. They are the one who will decide what is or how much is the price of their products, but their individual decision did not affect one another. In a monopolistic competition, there are no barriers to entry and exit. Therefore, there are a lot of in a certain business. But it is your decision on how are you going to sell that products. Maybe you can have a buy one take one, or you can have some decoration to attract your customers, and it also depends on you. In other words, the monopolistic competition, there are large of small numbers of the businesses, and it is up to you on how are you going to sell your products. It is easy for business to enter and leave the market. There is a good degree of information, but it is not perfect. Just like what I have said earlier, there is no such thing as a perfect market. The next one is the oligopoly competition. So what exactly does oligopoly mean? An oligopoly is a market structure wherein there is only a few firms make up the entire industry. These firms have all the control over the important factors just like the price. In oligopoly competition, they are also the price setters. Often, the products of all dominating firms are extremely alike, which forces the firms to become interdependent and closely monitor the actions of the other firms they are competing against. To further understand what is an oligopoly, it is a few large businesses wherein it is either identical or a very similar product, but it requires a large capital. That is why it is hard to enter by the new businesses. And they compete on price and other characteristics of their products and services. So I'm almost done with my video. So the last one is the monopsony competition. A monopsony competition, there are a large buyer controls the market because of their unique position. Monopsonies have the wealth of power. For example, being the primary or shall I say the only supplier of jobs in an area. The monopsony has the power to set wages. It is because he or she has a wealth of power. In addition, they have the bargaining of power as they are able to negotiate prices and terms with their suppliers. In a monopsony, a single buyer generally has a controlling advantage that drive its consumption price. Okay, so that's all for the imperfect market structure and its types, and I hope you learned something from me. Bye!
So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum Rolling Stone. Sing song when I'm walking home. Jump up to the top of LeBron. Ding dong, call me on my phone. Nice tea and I'll get my ping pong.